So, do you all remember back in the day with the Xbox One? Xbox One was not getting a lot of games. They weren't getting a lot of things that the PlayStation 4 was getting. And it turns out, Microsoft had this whole parity clause where they wanted to get games that are either released first on Xbox or at the same time as the Xbox. And that has sort of gone on to what they're doing with Bethesda, right? If you look at what's happening now, they made the comment that games on the Bethesda games would be best, better, or first on Xbox. And, we've had a little bit of a situation with stuff like, I don't remember what Deathloop was, but Ghostwire Tokyo having some issues, slight issues on Xbox, according to Digital Foundry anyway. But at that point in time, and I think this was 2014, and Phil Spencer said, hey, we want Xbox gamers to feel like first class. We want them to be first class citizens. And, to be honest with you, even when they weren't putting out games, like, you felt like we at least were a focus. They come out with the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X. Like, I felt like even at that time, yeah, there weren't a lot of exclusive games out, but you really felt like the focus. And now it's like sometimes this stuff comes up and you're just like, you're Microsoft. And I've mentioned this, maybe the poorest rich company that I've ever seen, because it's like Microsoft could literally buy any game company they want. I mean, will they get approved? I don't know. But they could buy any game they want, right? They could even buy GTA, right? If they wanted to buy GTA 6 exclusivity, they could roll up and go, okay, well, do you think it's going to sell 150 million copies at $70 a piece? Here's what we'll give you for that. What we're going to pay for that. It might be billions of dollars or whatever, but they could do that if they wanted to, right? They're not going to, of course. But I've always said that Microsoft, by not acting and not getting these things, they really make Xbox gamers sort of suffer by association. So because Sony will go out and buy exclusivity or exclusive rights to something, and it's like even little stuff like this sort of bums me out, to be quite honest with you. And I know, it makes it seem like I'm complaining a lot lately. I'm not really. I just think, and I also think it's BS. A lot of times people are like, oh man, if you're complaining about Xbox, you're keeping it real. Keeping it real. Let's keep it real, guys. Are we keeping it real? We got to complain about it to keep it real. But I do think that, you speed on with it, right? Like, I'm not going to complain about this more than once. It's something that is annoying, but it's just one of those things. So, let's get into it anyway. Like I said, I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. Slap that like button. I'm trying to get 100 likes on all the stuff that I do. So again, like the Street Fighter 6 demo, which, like, I'm interested in Street Fighter. The last Street Fighter game was exclusive to PlayStation 4. Microsoft said, hey, we'll make it up to you. And then I don't think they ever did. But, it kind of is what it is. But this demo hits the PS4 and PS5 for a week. Like, you get a week early access to it. It's like you start to feel as an Xbox gamer. So imagine you're an Xbox gamer and you start to see, like, this past week, for instance, or past 2 weeks. So your first party game, Redfall, isn't going to run best on your platform that was hyped up. Then you're not getting Final Fantasy 16. You're not getting Final Fantasy Pixel. You're not getting that other Oxenfree indie game. You have to wait for this demo an extra week. Like, I get that it's a small thing and some people are going, I don't mind waiting. Like, it is what it is, but it just doesn't feel like Xbox is sort of, for whatever reason, like maybe Sony's going behind their backs to sort of sabotage this stuff with like money or whatever. I don't know. But Microsoft, I hope they wake up and do some of this stuff themselves. So Capcom released the Street Fighter 6 demo for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Set for release on the Series X and S and Steam on April 26th, the demo lets users play the beginning of World Tour as well as select modes in Fighting Ground. World Tour lets players create their own character, explore a series of open world areas, and learn moves from existing Street Fighter warriors. The avatar that players create in a demo can be used in a full version of the game if played on the same platform. Ryo and Luke are also available as playable characters on the temple and training room stages. Street Fighter 6 will be released on June 2nd with a roster of 18 characters. Now, during Street Fighter 6 Showcase this past week, Capcom announced their additional characters coming to the game in its first year. Rashid will be introduced this summer, followed by, I believe it's pronounced Aki, in the autumn, Ed in early winter, and Akuma next spring. All 4 characters will be included as the Masters and World Tour are also included in the Deluxe and Ultimate Editions at Street Fighter 6. Capcom has released a new trailer showing off World Tour gameplay too, including RPG-like mechanics such as skill trees and consumable items, as well as avatar battles, which let players fight other online users using their customized characters. Earlier in the month, it was revealed that Legendary Entertainment had acquired the film and TV rights to the Street Fighter series, and Capcom subsequently confirmed that it is co-producing a live-action Street Fighter movie with the Dune and Godzilla vs. Kong production company. Now, listen, I personally, I'm looking at this and I'm going, a movie, this is neither here nor there, but I think that because we've seen a couple of successful video game adaptations or what have you, it's weird to me because now we're starting to see more and more, and I feel like if they're not careful, we could still get bad ones or whatever. And I would hate there to see bad video game adaptations. But anyway, for me personally, you just start to feel like, oh, well, I want to play this beta or whatever, and it's just the demo or what have you. Sony seems to lock this stuff. And it was the same thing with what was it, Resident Evil 8 or whatever it was. Honestly, people just for me anyway, it just feels like Sony is actively working not only against Xbox, but just against Xbox fans, and we keep on getting the short end of the stick. I'm tired of not getting the stuff at the same time. It's like Microsoft does everything they can, follows every rule in the book. They do, right? They follow every rule in the book. They kept all the deals. They didn't have to keep Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo deals. They could have paid to get out of those contracts. They've got the money to do that. But you know why they didn't? I can tell you why. Because they would have been crucified in the media and through gamers. Oh, Microsoft is anti-consumer. Microsoft is this. Microsoft is that. They would have literally got torn to shreds, right? It would have stopped the Xbox has no games narrative for sure. But at the same time, I'm sitting here looking at this going, well, how is that such a bad... how does Sony get away with all this stuff? Right? I don't understand it. I don't understand how Sony gets away with this. It is frustrating to the extreme, and I honestly hope that they do something soon, because Microsoft needs to get back in the game. Yes, you have a ton of studios that's going to be doing a lot of content, but you can also... I don't see why you can't do something where you have other stuff too, third-party stuff. It doesn't make sense why they can't do that. Get some deals, I'm not saying get content away from Sony, but get some kind of deal to where you're not losing stuff, right? For your fans. Make us feel like first-class citizens again. Thanks for watching. I'll link this so you can check it out. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.